Hello everyone, it's Anasika here. I have a new card for the July challenge over at Scrap the Boys, and this time we have a sketch available on the blog, and as well as the theme is to celebrate. So I decided to use these cute stamps from Hero Arts. I just love that kitty in the box, and that is such a surprise, kind of a celebration to me, so I thought, why not? I'm using the extreme black from My Favorite Things, and that's a really good ink. It basically works with Copics or alcohol markers and watercolors. Just make sure that it's dry before you start coloring, and I really like those bold black lines that it creates. I also stamped several images of the balloon because I want them to be kind of tucked behind the kitty in the box, as they are kind of bursting out of the package itself somewhat. My coloring is very simple, just basic coloring, 3 colors in each family, and I had already colored the box using my gray markers, so they're really soft and you can't really see them on camera since it's quite the sunny day, so I just skipped that box part. Really nothing fun to watch. So I'm just coloring the ribbons on the present, and I'm using blue markers for this, and then I'll get on to coloring the kitty itself, and I'm just using brown markers for the kitty. And like I say, it's really basic coloring, nothing fancy or difficult, just me coloring away, trying to figure out where those shadows could be and so on and whatnot. I will be die cutting the image with the coordinating die, so I wanted to keep it somewhat clean and simple really, and since I'm not the best colorist, I just like coloring and having fun. It relaxes me and just I like it, so it's nothing fancy to share really. Just playing around, seeing what fits and if you like it or not. And I'm still struggling with how to color animals. I'm not really good at that, so I'm just trying to find my way. But I was happy with the result, so all is good. And now I'm just coloring the balloons, and I'm keeping similar colors to the ribbon on the package, but I'm also adding a bit of red peachy kind of tones as well to one of the balloons. I have 4 balloons stamped there, but one of them didn't stamp quite nicely, so I'm just using 3 of these, and that was the plan all along anyway. So I just wanted to, I'd rather stamp too many than having something that I can't really use. So I'm just keeping it quite simple, just 3 colors, and having one side darker than the other, and then I plan on adding sparkly things and shiny stuff to the balloons later on anyway. So like I said, just quick and easy, simple coloring, just making sure that these colors blend nicely into each other. And then I've already die cut all the images using my Big Shot machine, and it's just on the table beside my craft desk, so I'm not moving it around when I'm recording, so I'll just skip that from the video itself. Now I'm using this beautiful shiny cardstock from Tonic Studio. It's called Silky Sky, I believe. I will have links to everything below. And it has a not a gloss finish, but more like a satin finish. And I'm just cutting 3 strips of that cardstock, and keeping the top one thin and then the other 2 are thicker, and I'll be placing these at the bottom of the card base that I already cut out. So I'm just figuring how I want these to look, and then I'll add tape to the backing of these and place them on the card. You can of course use any kind of tape or adhesive that you like. I used score tape and double adhesive from scrap.com. It was just there, it was handy, but of course any adhesive will work fine on these papers. Then do some overhang, and I'm just cutting those little pieces off. And now I just need to figure out where to place my little kitty. And I'm adding loads of foam tape to the back of this kitty to make sure that it really stands out. And then I'll be adding foam tape to one of the balloons, but I'm sticking the rest down just with regular glue. I really like adding foam tape to my images when I'm making these rather clean and simple cards. And I'm just sticking these balloons onto those foam tapes and adding a bit of tape to make sure that the end of the balloons stay in place, because I wouldn't want these to fall off or rip when the person that gets the card gets it in the mail or something. So make sure everything is stuck. And like I said, I'm just adding foam tape to one of the balloons to make sure that it's really taking center stage. And I'm just adding a bit of Ranger multimedia matte glue on the back of these and just sticking these down. You only need a tiny drop for these to actually stick. So now I wanted the background to have a bit more happening, so I took out these 2 colors of Distress Oxide ink, and I'll have the colors linked below so you can find the exact colors, because I cannot remember the names. I think it was Abandoned Coral and Mermaid Lagoon, I believe. And I'm just adding these tiny musically or confetti thingies, really. Oh, sorry. These are confettis that I'm just stamping here and there to make sure that it's quite the party scene. And then I'll be adding musical notes later on as well. Of course, a party is a party when you have music and confetti, right? So I'm just placing these here and there to create a bit of color and movement in the background, really. And then all it needs is a sentiment, and I'm using the stamp that says party just below the present itself. And I'm using the same black ink for the sentiment, sorry for my head getting in the way, as I did for the main image. And I'm stamping it several times because I know that I should have stamped the sentiment before adding that foam tape to the front, but thankfully the MISTI is a great tool to have when you do tiny mistakes regularly, so this helps a lot. And now I'm just adding those music notes that I mentioned before to the front of the card, here and there. And now I'm adding a bit of sparkliness to the balloons with my Spectrum Noir clear sparkle pen. And I just love that they add this nice hint of sparkliness here and there, and why not add it to the ribbon as well. I do love all things sparkly, so I have a hard time not adding anything glittery to my cards. I'm just tilting it in the light so I see if it's enough or if it needs a bit more. And then, because like I said, I do love all things sparkly, I am adding pretty jewels here and there. I just love adding these little jewels. It looks so pretty on a card, and I just love how they catch the light so nicely, and just they add so much to a card, especially when you're keeping it clean and simple like this one. And now I'm adding some Nouveau crystal glades to those balloons so they look a bit more balloonish, I guess, or plasticky really. And that basically is the end of my card. I'll have links to everything I used below the video, and of course on my blog if you want to have a look. And I'll have some still shots for you to look at. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you later.